Hello and welcome to this lesson, the lesson of Introduction to Microsoft Excel. In this lesson, you will learn what is Microsoft Excel, what is a spreadsheet, and Microsoft Excel's applications. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program used to record and analyze numerical data. Spreadsheet is a collection of columns and rows that make a table. The columns are represented by letters and are in total 16,384 columns. The last column is XFD. To see, let's click the combinations Ctrl right arrow key. XFD is the last column. The columns are represented by letters. Let's click Ctrl left arrow key to go back to where we were. The rows are represented by numbers. There is in total 1,048,576 rows in Microsoft Excel. To see the last row, we have to click the combination Ctrl down arrow key. Here we have Ctrl up arrow key to go back. The intersection of a row and a column is a cell. On this point, I have a green rectangle showing me that I have selected a cell. The cell where I'm in is E5. The name of the cell address is given by the letter that corresponds to the column of the cell, followed by the number of the row that corresponds to the row of the cell. In this case, I'm on the cell E5 because the column is E and the row is 5. Excel has an intuitive interface, what makes it easier to learn. The program is good to make tables, graphics, calculus, organize names in alphabetical order, or using some criteria that we can define, and more applications are possible to be done with Microsoft Excel. Why you should learn how to use Microsoft Excel? You definitely should learn how to use Microsoft Excel because every day in any part of the world you deal with numbers or data in general. We need to calculate the average of our school scores and analyze if we're in a good stand or not. We need to analyze our incomes and expenses, and we need to do more with data. Basically, you need to learn this to know how to record and analyze data. Definitely, it's time to learn Microsoft Excel. You made the right choice joining me in this journey. Hello. Welcome to one more lesson, the lesson Basics Functions. In this lesson, you will learn how to write formulas, how to use functions, make tables with autocalculus, merge and center cells, apply border and background color to cells. Here is a sample of what we will build applying the knowledge that we will gain. A table containing our school supplies with its own prices, 2 tables to perform the operations of adding, subtracting, multiplicating, division, average, maximum and minimum of our school supplies. In Excel we have imaginary rows, as you can see, creating imaginary division, the columns A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. The rows labeled by numbers, cells that are intersection between a row and a column. For example, this rectangle is a cell, this rectangle is a cell, this menu with a bunch of options, and we're going to cover the menu options according to our needs. Let's first give a different name to our sheet. Just click over here and write basics functions. hit enter. Okay, let's just write a title of our lesson on top. Let's write basics functions. How we want this name to go across all the screen and be centered, we have to merge all the cells and center them. So let's click over here and delete. Select these two cells until all the cells that fill our viewing screen. Select the cell A1 with your mouse, drag until A2 and go dragging until where you find it's okay for you. Release the mouse, click here on merge and center. Let's give a different background here. It can be this background. Okay, double click and write basics functions. Let's click it again, increase the font size, basics functions, change the font color, give it bold font weight, no, let's leave, vertical align to the middle, and let's increase the height of the row. Let's increase a bit more the font size. Basics functions. Here we have, let's reduce. We're going to create a table containing some information. Let's see our school supplies inside of a table. Let's write school supply. School supply. Okay, school supply. With the right arrow key and the price. Let's increase the column width so that we can see all the content inside, and below we can write the school supplies. For example, pencil box, colored pencils, glue bottle, pens, ruler, and the notebook. The price, let's put $0.5 or 0.5, I don't know the unit. You may choose one and keep in mind 2, 3, no 4, 3, $1, 2.4. Select all our table, come right here to give some borders, all border, select the header, give a different background, change the color, and bold with Ctrl B, or just click over here. Center this head here, and we have now make a table containing the operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication of the values of our price. Operation, result, addition, subtraction, product, I was saying multiplication, division, average, minimum, and maximum. Select, move up, increase the column width, select these two, give a different background, select these cells, give a darker background, change the color to white, and here we can write our results. How are we going to write the results? We're going to create first formulas, which are mathematical expressions. that users of Microsoft Excel write to achieve a certain result. Let's write equal sign, select the cell containing the value that we want to add, D6, write the plus operator, select the next cell containing the value, hit enter. Here we have the result. We have to select the cell containing the value, the cells containing the values, and write the operator. We want to add all, let's just continue. Plus select the cell, plus select the cell, was D9 plus, or you can simply write D10 plus D11, hit enter. Here we have subtraction. We're going to just do subtraction between two numbers, equal to this number minus this number. Here we have what we can do for all of the values, minus and so on. Multiplication basically is the same thing, but we just have to change the operator. How the operator here is this one, we're going to just write this, hit enter. Division, we're just going to do division between two numbers. Colored pencils over the pencil box price. Average, as we know, is the sum of all of the values divided by the number of the terms that we are adding. So it's going to be equal, open parenthesis, this value plus this, and this. Close over, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Here we have the average. Minimum number equal to 0.5, and the maximum is equal to notebook price. Here we have the results using formulas. You can change the values here, and you'll notice that the values are going to change automatically. For example, blue bottle, I can change, all the values are changing. Let me just undo. If I change the minimum value to 0.4, for example, or a value below 0.5, for example 0.2, this table is not giving me accurate information because I have referenced the value of minimum because I, as a user or human, I already knew that the value was that. I read from the table and then I selected. But the value can be in any column or any cell properly saying. So it's not a good idea to use this kind of attribution to a value, and making the addition, subtraction, multiplication or some operations that we have done easily using function. Function is basically a code that Microsoft has written for us, we can use and achieve the result. Let's write here merge and send. I'm going to show you a better way to do these operations, and I highly recommend you doing the operations using the functions whenever you can. Here we have used formulas. Let's use functions right now. Just copy this table and the content right here, Ctrl C, come here, Ctrl V, paste options. I want to keep the source column width, hit enter, delete and write functions, select all of these, delete. To add, all we have to do is click over the cell where you want to display the result, click on the function here and just select the category. Here we have a wizard to show us all the functions that Microsoft has, and we can select the function that we want to use, pass the values to the function. Let's browse by math. Here you have all these functions. In our case is sum. Just select sum, adds all numbers in a range of cells. Okay. What I need to do is to select the range. Just drag right here, select all, and click OK. I have the result here. Or you could just simply write equal sum, open parentheses. You can pass the numbers, for example 2 plus 4, 6, but how you want to add all the numbers in the range, equal to sum, select the range, close, hit enter. Here we have subtraction. We don't have a function to make subtraction. All we have to do is to select the values that we want to find the subtraction and write formulas. Okay, this would be the same, so I'm just going to copy here and paste here. No, because of the reference I'm just going to change here to D. Later we're going to cover why this kind of things happen. D. Multiplication, we have product. Let's just select the range. Here we have division is quotient between a numerator 2 and denominator this one. Average, we have, you can see that functions are easy to use and they are more productive because we don't have to keep working too much to achieve a result. Minimum value equals to minimum, return the smallest number in a set of range. Okay, select, here we have maximum. Let's select the range, and here we have. So the most accurate results are coming from the functions, from the table that we have written using functions. You can change the value in any column to whatever value you want, and you're going to see that functions give us a better response. For example, I can say minimum now 0.2, and here we still have minimum because this is a direct reference. Like, I just want you to show the value on cell D6, but the value is not necessarily there as the minimum one. You can have the minimum value in any cell. What function is doing is looping all over these cells and trying to find which value is the smallest one. Okay, this is what I had to show you about functions. I recommend you to revise this content. If you have any question, just leaving the Q&A section, and let's move to the next lesson where we're going to cover our topic about Microsoft Excel. Hello and welcome to the challenge lesson. In this lesson you will have a challenge related to the basics functions topic to practice and have sure that you understood the concepts. The challenge is to fill the cells with the results using formulas and fill the cells with the correct results using functions. The table where you're going to find the values to perform the operations is the school supplies table. I've showed you the challenge, now it's time to complete. Okay, I hope you have successfully completed this challenge. To perform the addition using formulas, we have to write equal, select the cell containing the value, plus, select other cells, and so on until we select all the cells, as we have seen on the previous lesson. Hit enter. Subtraction, well, you can do the subtraction between two values or between all of the values. I'm just going to choose D7 cells value and D6. Multiplication between all of the values that are inside of our table. Division, I'm going to choose just two columns, two cells I mean. Average is going to be the same. Here I'm just going to copy, equal to all of these values over 6. Let's close and hit enter. Here we have. Using functions is just to write the function and pass the range equal. The function to perform the addition is sum. Let's select all the range is from D5 to D6, is from D6 to D11. Let's close and hit enter. Multiplication, the product, let's pass the range. Division is going to be between D8 and D9. Quotient, you can choose any cells to make the operations of addition and subtraction. D8 and D7. Average is going to be average for this range. Minimum, pass the range. Maximum, pass the range. Here we have the solution is already in front of your screen. Any question, leave in the Q&A section. Thank you. Hello, welcome to one more lesson, the lesson Relative and Absolute Reference. In this lesson, you will learn what is relative reference and how to use, what is absolute reference and how to use. Here's a sample of what we will build, a table to calculate the total amount for the school supplies for relative units and absolute unit. Let's click Ctrl A, Ctrl C to copy this info, create a new sheet, call it relative and absolute reference. Enter, Ctrl V to paste the info, select this, delete and don't fill. Let's just add some two columns where we're going to show the units and the total price. And this I want total, and I want, I can say units per unit, 1 unit, and let's close, delete, or 2, better, total, delete, and just say equal to price times this value. Okay, if I want to calculate the same to other school supplies, all I have to do is to just drag vertically. Notice the direction, vertically. Okay, I have zeros because it's assuming that the values here are 0. Let's take a look into the formula bar. I have D6 times E6, D6, D6, row 6, column D, and E6, D7, E7, E7, nothing we have written there, E8, E9, E10, E11, we haven't written nothing. I forgot to change here to relative and absolute reference. What's happening here? Microsoft Excel is using a relative reference, and what is changing are the numbers. We have dragged vertically in the vertical direction, so it's keeping the columns but changing the numbers, so the reference is relative. So if I just come here and write something, you can see it's changing and the formula is kept. So relative reference, when you copy a formula from a cell and pass into others, the values are going to changing. Suppose that I want to buy only 2 units for all the school supplies. Let's just delete here. Okay, I can leave. What I don't want to change is the unit value. I want to keep these references relative. All I have to do is to select here the cell containing the value and press F4. Hit enter, you're going to see $sign before E and before 6. Hit enter and just drag vertically. Here I have 2 units for all of the school supplies. Let's take a close look into the formula. You can see that what's changing now is only the value on the column C for the price because it's relative, but we have fixed the value of the unit. This is absolute reference. When you copy a value from a cell and pass into the others, the part of the expression containing the absolute reference is going to be the same and the value is going to be the same. So it's not going to change. What's going to change is only the relative if it has, but absolute part is going to be the same. So we're fixing the unit value. Just keep this idea. Let's remove the $sign here. What's going to be fixed is the row here, the row 6. Let's copy. We still have the same values. Why we have the same values? Because we drag it vertically. The E, which is a column, is going to be fixed and the row is also going to be fixed. If we just leave, for example, the $sign, drag it horizontally, now you can see something happening. What's changing is the column. What I have fixed is not changing, the row 6, but the column is changing because we haven't fixed the column and we have dragged it horizontally. So it's going to be relative horizontally, but it's going to have the row 6 fixed. Take the same formula, put it here, just copy to the other cells. You're going to see we still have the same values. Okay, E is not changing because my orientation during the copy and pasting time was vertical, but here it's changing because the orientation was horizontal. Some part is relative and the row 6 is absolute. You can see in any of these cases the row 6 doesn't change, but here the row 6 the row 6 doesn't change also, but the column is changing. I took the horizontal direction, so it's changing the column but keeping what I have fixed, which is the row. Now you can apply whenever you need. Let me just remove these borders here. Okay, here we have. So let's just now remove this $sign here and just complete our table. Let's just select all of these shared and give it different background. Control, Shift, down arrow key and right arrow key. You can see the maximum number here, and if you go to right side you're going to see the last column. But all I want to do is to change this background just to fill it. Already done, and change the color by default to white. This wasn't our background, so let's go back, change here we have. So you can still see the columns here because it's bounded by a green rectangle. Please revise this content and we're going to see each other on the next lesson. Thank you. Hello and welcome to the challenge lesson. In this lesson you will have a challenge related to the relative and absolute reference to practice and have sure that you understood the concepts. The challenge is to find how much someone will pay in every month for using a certain service, assuming that each month's value is going to be 120% of the past month. On the other part of the challenge, I want you to calculate me how much I'm going to pay for 4 school supplies for every school supply. Okay, let's begin with this challenge here. Pause the video complete and come back here to see the result. How can we calculate 120% of a certain value? Is just equal to that value that we want to calculate times 120 over 100, which is 1.2. So we have to say equal to past month value times 1.2. For the other months, I want to pick the last month's value and increment 20%. All I have to do is to keep looking for values on the same row by changing the columns, because I want to be on the column of March or F6, look for the value on the column E6. Notice that I'm going to keep the row because it's the same row but changing the columns. Each month's values is on a different column than the other month's value. Okay, so let's write here the same that we did on February but to March. We're just going to copy and you will see every value being filled. Here we have. Now we want the total that is equal just to the sum of all the month's expenses that we had. Here we have. To find the value to my pencil boxes, I'm just going to find using equal to the price times the amount of pencil boxes, that is 4. So equal to price times $, this value right here, in this column, dollar sign. I want to find the dollar sign. I'm just going to reference it using the absolute reference because I want to fix the value that is contained on that cell. All I want to change is just the values corresponding to this part because I want to navigate through different school supplies prices on different rows but on the same column. I'm going to copy it vertically or drag it vertically. What's going to change? The rows are going to change, but the column is going to be the same. Here we have. So this is the solution for this challenge. Hope you understood everything, and let's move. Hello, welcome to one more lesson, the lesson sum if and count if. In this lesson you will learn how to sum cells if a criteria is met and how to count cells if a criteria is met. Here's a sample of what we will build. A table containing how much I will pay for each school supply and how many times each school supply appears in my list of school supplies. I have created a table here containing school supplies, some of them unrepeated. A table here having the school supply and the prices, the school supplies and how many times they appear in my school supplies list. Here we're going to sum the total price that I'm going to pay for pencil box, colored pencil, school bottle, and so on. All I have to do is to use the function sum if. Let's write equal sum if. This function adds the cell specified by a given condition or criteria. What I want to sum. First I have the range, is where I'm going to look for the school supplies. The criteria, I want to find pencil box, and where to find the sum range here on the total column. So this function is going to look for all these texts, find a text that is equal to pencil box, and in the column of total it's going to find the total value that corresponds to the pencil box. You can see here they are in the same row. Let's fix this and this range also. Hit enter. Here we have 1 is the total that I'm going to pay for pencil box. Okay, now let's drag for copy and paste to the other cells. Here we have what's relative is only the criteria here because I want to look for different school supplies but inside of the same range. Colored pencils 17. Let's confirm. I have to pay 8 plus 9, which is 17. Okay, now in count if, we're going to count how many times each school supply appears in my school supply list. Equal count if. Count the number of cells within a range that meet the given condition. I have to pass the range here and the criteria. I want to count how many times I'm going to find the text box, pencil box inside of this range. Now I have to fix this range, hit enter, and paste the formula to other cells. Here we have hand sanitizer. Does it appear 3 times? Yes, 1, 2, 3. 100 index cards, it appears only ounce. depends 2 times. Here is one of the times, and also here. This is what I had to show you for this lesson. Revise the content, and let's move to the next lesson. Thank you. Welcome to one more lesson, the lesson formatting as table. In this lesson, you will learn how to format your cells as table. Here's a sample of what we will build. We will build our cells to be formatted as table and play with some filters. Let's get rid of these borders. Let the background be white, and now we are ready to format as table. We have to select the cells that compose our table. Click here on this button, Home, the styles, format as table. This is going to convert a range of cells to a table with its own style. Let's click over here. Select the style of the table. There are some predefined styles here, or you can just create your new table style. I'm just going to select a style available here. My table has headers option needs to be checked because our table has headers. And let's click OK. You can see that we have some blue rows, blue borders. There is a new tab here, design, that was created. We have the total row option we can add. First column becomes bolder, last. Filter button is the button that allows us to filter the cells in our table according to some criteria. Let's hit enter, click on any cell and select the cells. Here we can choose what we want to show as a total. We may want the minimum day is going to show us here. This is the minimum. Let me just put here. You can see what's happening. 2008. Okay. The registration day to maximum. Registration time, I can put it to the registration time here. What's happening? I want to show the maximum, minimum, have, paid price. I want to show the average, rate, the minimum. You can see I can sort here by paid price from largest to smallest, sort by birth date, sort by name. Excel makes it pretty easy to manipulate data. When you click over a cell, you have the design tab opened automatically for you, and you can just change the styles or change the properties of your table. I saw that here we have dollars, so let me change it to the correct text. Formatting a table is basically this. I hope you understood what I showed you. Any question, you know where to drop. And let's move to the next lesson. Welcome to one more lesson, the lesson conditional formatting. In this lesson you will learn how to apply styles based on conditions. Here's a sample of what we will build: a table that assumes different styles based on values. Conditional formatting is just to format our cells if a condition is met. Let's just select the cell total or any other cell that you want to format if a condition is met, and come here to styles, at home, styles, conditional formatting. We have a wide range of options and we want to explore all of them. I'm showing you how to format if a condition is met, then you can format according to your need. Let's go to highlight cells rules. For example, if is greater than something, I want to format if the value is greater than 10. Let me just go for 4 exactly. If it's greater than 4, with light red, with dark red text, you can choose how you want to present the cells that met the criteria. Okay, let's for example leave red text no, or green fill with dark green text. Just select OK. Here we have. If I change the value here to something like 6 and the column automatically becomes a value greater than 4, it's going to be formatted. Now I may want to change. I just have to select, come back here and manage rules. I have this rule just to edit the rule and just give the new rules. I just want to format the cell that contains a value greater or equal to 5, or I'm going to write 10, and I have all the options here. If I want to give a border, I may want to fill it with this color, just give OK and apply. Here we have OK. Let's go again. There we have if the value is less than, between, equal. If text contains, for example, we can just see if it contains 1. I want to format with this style or custom. I'm just going to leave this. Okay, here all the columns that contain 1 are formatted according to what I have selected to be the style. Let's select again conditional formatting. For example, let's see here some data bars. You can see that's occurring for every cell. I have colors scales here. You can just select the color scale that you feel more comfortable with. We have icon sets. For example, we can use these indicators, and here we have, if we want to manage the rule, we just have to edit it, and if the value is greater than, just give the condition that you want. 45, 10, OK, apply. You may have seen that the indicator here changed, but we can change it more. For example, I want to have this. Here we have, this is conditional formatting. So you've seen how to format the cells according to a certain condition. Now what you have to do is just explore and apply this knowledge to your works. Thanks for watching, and let's move into the next lesson. Hello and welcome to the challenge lesson. In this lesson, you will have a challenge related to the conditional formatting topic to practice and have sure that you understood the concept. The challenge is to format a table containing the temperatures of the weekday from Monday to Sunday. All the cells containing the values from 0 to 14 have this style: a blue background, bold text, and color white. The cells containing a temperature on the range of 15 to 28 have this style. All the cells are bolded. The color is going to be black with this gold background. The cells containing the values above 28 this style: a red background, a red text color, and also bold. Pause the video now, solve this problem, and come back when you are ready to see me solving and you have already solved it. Now that you are back, let's select these cells and go to conditional formatting, click manage rules, and delete the rules because I want to format them with you. Apply OK. I have a range between 0 to 14, between 15, 28, and above 28. I have to come to conditional formatting and come to the option between. All the values between 0 and 14 have a style. Let me custom. The background is this, font is bold, and the color is white. Okay, here I have it was darker than this color. Let me take this color. I think it was this color. Yes. Let's come again, add one more rule to the case of a temperature between 15 and 28. What I want to have is a background with a ton of gold like this. The text needs to be black and bold. Here we have. The new rule is going to be for the case where the temperature is greater than 28. If it's greater than 28, what are we going to do is to leave this style. Okay, Ctrl B just to bold, and here we have completed this challenge. Welcome to one more lesson, the lesson if. In this lesson, you will learn how to use the if function. Here's a sample of what we will build applying the knowledge. A table to tell us if the student has approved or if the student has failed. I have some scores here of 3 tests and the average of the tests. The students' names are here, and other information is also here. We have just 2 states for this problem. If the student's average is greater than or equal to 6, the state to be shown here must be pass. Otherwise, if it is less than 6, has to be fails. Okay, what we have to do to achieve the result is to use the if function. Let's write here equal so if. You can see what if function does. Check whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and returns another value if false. Open parentheses and perform the logical test. Logical test is always accompanied with greater than, less than, equal, greater than or equal to something, less than or equal to something. If the average is greater than or equal to 6, we want to perform something. If this condition is met, we want to display pass. If the value is false, we want to just display fail. Is fails, hit enter. Here we have, let's just copy, but before we do that, fix, because we want to compare, we want to display the same results here, and fix this also. Just copy and pass into other cells. Here we have pass fails. Now that we have solved our problem here, we can combine these results with the conditional formatting, like if the student pass maybe a background, a green background and a green text, just to make it easier to identify. The other case, we're just going to do the same but with a red color. Let's select conditional formatting, highlight cells rules equal to. Let's see if the student has this state we have here. What we want to do is just change the style to become green field with dark green text. Okay, let's click here, add a new rule equal to fails. It's okay, this style is beautiful for me, I can easily identify. Okay, here we have if function is useful for this case. I can have here pass or approved, it's going to be the same, the results to be shown here, referencing the cells. And to the conditional formatting, I've also referenced it to the cell here, approved, fails. Here we have, this is what I had to show you on this lesson. Welcome to one more lesson, the lesson line chart. In this lesson you will learn how to make a line chart. Here is a sample of what we will build applying the knowledge that we will gain. A line chart for this table. We have a table here with just 4 columns, the column of region and some months, some cells. I've used the function ran between just to generate some numbers between these two values that you can see here, and I fill it in all the cells of the table. Now what we have to do to create the line chart is to select our table, come right here on insert and click on insert line or area chart. Click here, let's select this option. You have other options, but for this lesson we're just going to see this line option. When we work with Excel, we have a wide range of options. We can't explore in our lessons all of the options. We explore the essentials, then you explore more about what we see on the lesson. Let's click here, and simple like that you have the chart. If you click here, you can just write the chart title that you want, and Excel has generated the chart for us. We can see here the months, February, March, April, the regions. Let's select the switch row column. We can interpret easily the chart. The blue line corresponds to the Scotland, the orange to the Wales, and so on. We have the values here, some options. Let's start clicking on this just to change the style if needed. Let's come to this one. You have all of these styles. Okay, let's back to the first style. You can change the color here. Let's come to this option. I can remove some information or some sketches that I don't want from my graph. For example, Wales, Northeast, Southwest. I'm going to leave East Midlands and remove Scotland. You can see here the categories. I can remove all, just remove some, apply. You can see I've just stayed with Scotland and the other region right here. Let me leave all the regions. Apply. Here we can just see some elements. Axis title, the y-axis title for our graph, the chart title, data label, data table, the error bars, grid lines, legend, trend lines for Wales, for example. You can see has decreased, up or down bars. Basically is this. You can also resize, and here we have, this is what I had to show you about line chart. Is basically just to select the columns that compose your table. Come here to insert chart. Welcome to one more lesson, the lesson concatenate. In this lesson you will learn how to join different text strings into one text string. Here's a sample of what we will build: the joint of some school supplies texts into one text. Concatenate is to join different texts into one text. The function to concatenate is concatenate, open, and we pass the text that we want to concatenate. I want to concatenate supplies. Then I'm going to pass the text pencil box, glue bottle. If you are going to write the text and you're not going to get the text from a cell, the text needs to be inside of the quotation mark. Okay, hit enter. Supplies, pencil box, glue bottle. I want to give a space here. It's just to pass an empty string or a string that represents a space between the two values. Enter. Supplies, pencil box, glue bottle. Now you know how to concatenate. Other way is to just write equal, pencil box, and select the text. Let's give some space here and hit enter. Pencil box, glue bottle, final, ruler. This is how we concatenate text. Just to remind you, we can concatenate also using the assistant from MS Excel, and it's about text concatenate. We also have the function here. Okay, then we are going to click the columns containing the text. Okay, and we have. So let's remove the bold. Thanks for watching this lesson.